can't believe you call yourself a true member of the Fresh Squad, a real follower, a genuine viewer, a true supporter. Are you for real? Do you really believe what you're telling yourself?
Why am I questioning your integrity, you ask? Because this is a fragrance channel. On this channel, I discuss fragrances I love, and I share them with you because I'm sharing the love. And hopefully, you love what I love. It's not a prerequisite. It's okay if you don't like what I like, but all I ask is that you try what I like. That's it. I've talked about a lot of fragrances across a lot of videos on this channel, and there are several that pop up again and again and again. And if you could believe it, they pop up for a reason. And if you still haven't tried these 10 fragrances that I've been recommending over and 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 over, now's your chance. Let's dive right into it. If you were at all offended by that intro, you must be new around here. My name is Justin Copeland, and I am a clown at times. Now you know. This is a simple video. I just have a few things to say. Just because these are high recommendations from me does not mean that I'm guaranteeing you're gonna love them. That should go without saying, but it's the internet. We gotta say it. As I said in the intro, the fragrances in this video have maintained a relatively consistent presence throughout my videos, some of them over years of time, for a reason, and it's a good reason. If you trust my taste, then stop wasting time and sample these fragrances.
It's not that serious.
Here we go. No particular order here. First one up is from Masque Milano. It's called Russian Tea. One of the most transportive fragrances I've smelled and that I own in my collection. It is perfectly named. It is perfectly composed. Imagine black tea in a ceramic mug. You can see it. Dark liquid, hardly reflective. You can see wisps of smoke coming off the tea. It's just the perfect temperature to drink. Not too hot. You don't need to blow on it, but don't wait any longer because it's getting cold. A little bit of mint in there, adding a cooling quality to it. A little bit of raspberry and honey in there. So it's sweet, but there's a little bit of a tartness to it. Not overly sweet, and a splash of spice, maybe some black pepper. That's what you get. It is all enveloping while being very calming and soothing, but it's also no slouch. This is a strong scent. If you want something beautiful, you don't care what anybody else thinks, you want to wear it for you, you want to be swept away by the scent, this is what you can check out. Get a sample of Masque Milano Russian Tea. Some of you guys know, some of you don't. For those that don't, now you know. There were several times when you had an excuse for not having tried this fragrance because it was hard to find. It was discontinued several times. The brand has been a little indecisive, but they are being persistent with keeping this fragrance on the market so that you can try it. And it's from Tom Ford and it's Oud Minérale. You're not gonna find this bottle anymore. If you see it, don't buy it because you're probably gonna overpay for it. It does come in this new bottle. It's part of the signature line. I have plans to try it. I can't guarantee if it's the exact same fragrance as it was because the original juice is beautiful, but I imagine it's fantastic. So go out and try this beautiful bottle. Look at this thing. Go out and try it. Spray it. Better yet, put it on your skin. Put it on your hand. Walk around. That's gonna give you the best idea, but don't put it all up in your nose. You're gonna regret that. If you don't like the idea of a dry yet wet, smoky, woody aquatic with a slight saltiness and slight seaweed vibe, it's like being out in the Pacific Ocean during a storm. Gray, cloudy skies, turbulent waters, but nothing life-threatening.
It's a fragrance.
Pretty enigmatic, pretty confident smelling, but does have a little bit of a welcoming quality because it is relatively fresh. Go out and try this stuff. Let me know what you think down in the comments if you've tried it. In fact, let everybody else know. Don't take my word for it. Those of you guys who love this stuff, let them know. Regardless, there's going to be links in the description to check it out as well as everything else we're talking about here. That's Tom Ford Oud Minérale. I'm not going to spend much time on this fragrance because I've talked about it a lot, especially in the past couple months. So I'm going to save you some headache. Alghabra, Labyrinth of Spices. It's fantastic. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's move on. From Hermes, this was a blind buy a couple years ago and it exceeded my expectations. Probably the best designer recommendation I can give you right now for a high heat summer fragrance. We're talking about the hottest days. This is what I'm going for. I recommend you check it out. That is Teres Oud. Givrée. This is frozen water. Frozen water, that's a funny term.
I know there's a name for that.
It quite literally is a cooling freshness. When you spray this, even smelling from the atomizer, it's cold. My little nose hairs are shivering. It smells like ice cold grapefruit. It's citrusy and dry. It is bright and fresh, but there is this cold quality. It literally lowers the air temperature. I swear. It's gonna give you goosebumps when you put it on your skin because it's so cold. Check it out. Stop wasting time. Teres Oud Givrée. We're gonna talk about Creed next, and I know there's a lot of talk, and there has been for a couple years now, mainly leaning in the direction of they're not worth it. They're not worth checking out. Their prices are not worth it. Their fragrances are being watered down. They're not worth it. Obviously, that's going to be relative and subjective. I'm talking about Royal Oud, and despite what's being said about Creed, this fragrance is still one I recommend you check out. You get a sample of this stuff. Please do yourself a favor. Dry, woody, classy. It's very spicy. There's a little bit of a sweetness in there. It's kind of dusty and green in a way. Not really oudy at all, mostly cedar wood, so don't be afraid of that. Again, I'm not guaranteeing you're gonna love this. Some of you guys are gonna smell this and feel like your face is in a Christmas tree. And I'm not gonna blame you because I felt the same way when I first tried it, but you have to try it to know. Again, even if there's no guarantee you'll love it, you still have to try. Just so you know, you have a point of reference, and then maybe you can come back to it later if you do happen to hate it, and you never know, you might like it.
You might love it.
I don't know, but you will. That is Creed Royal Oud. Get yourself a sample. Links down below. From Maiden Bob, you don't hear a whole lot of talk about this brand. This is a classic from the house. This is one of their best, if you're asking me, and it's Egypt. I got a little 30 milliliter bottle here that I'll try to link to down below if you want to try it, but at the very least, I'll find some smaller sizes that you can try. Man, this is a beautiful ambery fougere. There's a dry, dusty, ambery quality to this otherwise clean, soapy barbershop-like fragrance, but it is more on the arid side of things. If you can imagine the dry sands of a desert with a fougere with a clean masculine feel, that's kind of what you get here. It's sweeter and warmer than your average soapy barbershop fougere. A beautiful take on the genre, makes it relatively unique. Check it out. Egypt from Maiden Bob. It's been almost 4 years that I've been raving about this fragrance. This is one of the most versatile but special niche fragrances that I can recommend to you. From the house of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, we have Gentle Fluidity Silver. I've talked about it a lot. So if you've been following my channel for at least a year or two, you've seen this pop up several times. It kind of checks all the boxes. If you're asking me if there are boxes to be checked, meaning a versatile scent profile that can be worn anywhere, anytime, a likability to that scent profile that people around you will at the very least not find repulsive, and at the very most love the way you smell. And it has fantastic performance. On my skin, this stuff lasts easily half the day. 12 plus hours, no problem. And it kind of stays fresh the whole time.
Pun intended.
Check out Gentle Fluidity Silver. And again, if you have tried this stuff, if you have heeded my recommendation and you love it, let them know down in the comments. Check it out. We have a beautiful indie house that saw a resurgence. It saw kind of a revitalization over the past few years, and I'm happy to see them back on the market and accessible to you. The house is called Dasein, and one of their flagship fragrances is Winter. And Winter is so aptly named. It is a cooling morning in the woods. That's what I get out of this. Cold air, dry woods, a little bit of a sweetness, almost the sap of the trees that you can smell in the air, a little bit of a green piney vibe in there, but there's some beautiful cardamom in here. That cardamom does add to that cooling quality, and it also adds to a little bit of an alluring quality. So while I find this to be a relatively versatile fragrance while smelling like almost nothing else out there, it's not just a basic run of the mill. This is gonna smell intriguing, all while being very attractive. That's a great balance to strike, and this does it well. They have another beautiful fragrance called Winter Nights. Also recommend checking that one out. And don't be pigeonholed by the name here. It is called Winter. Yes, it depicts that sentiment, but it is a relatively fresh woody scent, so it does fine pretty much all year round. Check out Winter if you haven't already. This has been one of my top recommendations from Amouage for some time now. To me, it's a 10 out of 10. There's no guarantee it'll be a 10 out of 10 for you. Some people find aspects of this a little bit too edgy. It has a bold face to it. It has an iconic presence. There's something about it that is not like everything else because it has specificity to it. Specificity is polarizing. Some people embrace it because it's like, finally, I've been looking for something that exactly fills this. And to some others, it's like, I don't know what I would do with this. It's a little bit too much of one thing, in which case I don't feel comfortable fitting it into several aspects of my life. That's okay. Follow your nose. If you love it, wear it. Enclave from Amouage. This is also a cardamom based scent, fresh and cooling spicy with a lot of mint. So there is quite a cold, fresh element to the scent, but there is this duality with a dark, sweet, ashy, leathery, resinous quality. So it's sweet and balsamic by way of some labdanum. There's ambery facets in here. It does smell like an amouage, but more than anything, it smells like nothing else I have tried. This is a fragrance that when I spray it on, I never regret it. I'm always happy I decided to wear it. Let me know if you feel that way about certain fragrances in your collection, and especially this one. But if you haven't tried it, check out the links below to check out Enclave from Amouage. And the last fragrance we'll talk about, I'm gonna spray this in the air, get a whiff. Dang, that's good. I believe there's also cardamom in this fragrance. You guys know I love me some cardamom for a reason. This is based on a classic DNA, a DNA that's probably almost 30 years old that you can still buy. It's still sold by the brand, still being manufactured. This is a flanker to that DNA. It carries the heritage of it, but it makes it richer, deeper, bolder, more itself, so to speak, with a very clear personality. That's not going to be for everyone. From Cartier Declaration Parfum. Man, guys. Fresh spicy cardamom, yes. Bitter orange, that's kind of fresh, yes, but there's a rich depth here. There is a resinous quality. There's an enhanced leathery quality to it. It's almost leaning a touch animalic by way of some cumin, actually quite a bit of cumin that might turn some of you guys off. Some people say it smells like BO. For whatever reason, it doesn't smell like BO to me. Maybe I haven't smelled a ton of BO because I actually wear deodorant.
That you could.
I'm not saying you don't wear deodorant, but you must be smelling a lot of BO if this reminds you of BO. I love this stuff. I find it to be so classy. This is something I love to wear on a night out when I'm dressed up a little bit more elegantly during the fall and winter. This is sophisticated stuff. This is a fragrance to have people take you more seriously. If you're looking for that, I wouldn't spray too much of it because this kind of scent profile can easily become overwhelming and obnoxious when oversprayed. So get you a sample, put it on your hand. Don't put it all up in your nose right away. Let it waft to you, smell it in the air around you. Let it take you away. Now, does that mean you'll love it? Absolutely not. It's not guaranteed, but you might. And I'm gonna keep talking about it, so don't consider this your final warning. There will be more warnings. But here's another warning to try Cartier Declaration Parfum. Well, that's it. Links down below to every fragrance we talked about. And once again, if you've tried these fragrances, if you've been a faithful steward of Stay Fresh Productions, you know I'm kind of kidding, but if you've tried them, let me know, let everyone else know down in the comments, let them know what they're missing. Because I'm trying my best, but apparently I can't do it all by myself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.